Hello, ActiveSage here on the Sage channel, and we're back for some more Singular Survival. Been gone for a while, and who knows if we'll be able to continue putting episodes out in a timely manner. We'll try, but for today, since we're back, let's go ahead and actually work on finishing this ship off a little bit. We're going to go ahead and put in some solar panels, and I've left the game running for a bit so that the refineries can be sorting through materials, so hopefully we'll have enough to at least get started on all of those. Should note also, it looks like there's a ship over there, a private sail. Usually those are pretty peaceful, and it looks like it isn't really coming this way. Just thought I would note it. Also, we do have Sage Cam's footage up and running, so we should be able to go ahead and fast forward all of this construction, and hopefully nothing will go terribly wrong. It seems like it's getting closer and farther away all the time. Suspicious private sail is suspicious! Anyway, let's go ahead and start building on this, shall we? Alright, so the game just said meteor storm inbound, which would imply a meteor storm... Oh, there it is. Alright, and looks like our laser system is doing an excellent job at ingeniously neutralizing the which is a fantastic thing. And okay, there we go. Let's just save right now. Why not? I haven't saved in a while. We don't want everything going to pot, do we? Well, that's ironic, isn't it, considering my audio apparently went to pot there. Let's hope the rest of the episode fares better. Lasers? Are you gonna get some targets there? There we go. Yes. I love how beautiful that is. It's just like... I am on Cataclysm difficulty, so... expecting more, but that seems to have been pretty easy. I mean, I figured since we put the laser turrets on, something I think should be in the vanilla game, but since I put them on, I figured why not up the difficulty all the way. Seems like it did the job pretty well. Anyway, back to the fast-forwarding bits. Alright, so my power supply is run dry, and at the same time, a meteor storm is apparently coming right at us, so... hopefully our defense systems will actually do the job here. That's not the medical area. I need to put some lights in. Let's see, I got the medical room sign, so I hope I can't see the bloody thing. I need to go ahead and put some lights in, that way we can just, ooh, laser defense system, do your job. Do your job good. I'm upgrading it too, by the way. It's probably not really seeable, but... God, I love those lasers. I'm putting some on our actual solar panels too, that way if anything ever flies right near us, they should get zapped as well. Love it. Glad to know that also when your power runs out now, number 5 is alive! I love that. Let's see what that achievement actually says in a second here. But, oh, my taskbar is showing. But, yeah, it's nice that you don't just instantly die when your power runs out or end up drifting. As long as you still have hydrogen and oxygen, you just survive. You just can't weld anything. Which is why there was actually a moment there where I was trying to grind something and just not making it anywhere. Okay, connect your suit to a power with less than 1% power remaining in survival. Well, I'd say it was less than 1% power remaining. It was zip. Alrighty, back to the building. Alrighty, there we go. That took a little while, but we finally have all the grid work in place now, so we can actually go ahead and start welding it up. I just thought I'd take a moment to just share how interesting it looks with just all the grid work here. Now, of course, as we get to work on this, I'm sure we're going to realize we're out of certain supplies, as I think I've mentioned in the past, but I think we'll be pretty much alright since we've been letting the refineries run for ages, and last time I checked, we had tons and tons of supplies here. Yeah, it looks like it's gone through that. If we select the refineries, you'll see that they're still churning away on a million different things, so I think we'll be fine. Let's actually go ahead and check just in our inventory, power cells. Yeah, we got some solar cells here. How many solar cells do we have overall? Lots of 20s, not really lots of thousands, and we're probably going to need, there's 400. We're going to need oodles of them. There's a 1900 or so. That's in the sausage, which is what we're going to be using to build here in a second, so I'll build a few more of those, queue them up, and I'll get to work. So we've hit a little bit of a snag in our production line here, where unfortunately it seems like all our machines have slowed down when it comes to producing the needed items. Bit of a snag indeed. Silicon wafers, we have a fair few of them, but they're not being transferred to our production line for some reason. Maybe if we requeue this? Nope, that also seems to not be working for some reason. Not exactly sure what has happened, unfortunately. Each of these takes... We'll just look at another assembler. Oop. Really quickly. This guy. It needs 24 and 30. Right, and we should have that about, right? We're going to go ahead and do nickel ingot. Yes, indeed, we do have enough supplies sitting about to start building some stuff. So, really, I'm not sure what the heck is going on with our systems. It could be something to do with the TIM sorting system. Currently, the TIM sorting system has locked up on us again. If we do program, I believe I have it saved in here, yeah. You can see it keeps saying too complex, I guess because we have too many things. So we keep having to recompile it and run it again. Ta-da. But of course, doing that, I suspect, has also ruined our refineries. Yeah, because now it's gone back to making platinum instead of going ahead and trying to make the actual things we needed, which was silicon and nickel, I think it was. Just coming through the airlock now, and we'll hop in a chair right over here and see the power levels of the ship. And yeah, we're clearly not pulling a bunch of power, so our assemblers should be able to start doing their job. Move in a couple hundred there, and then a couple hundred silicon. Go back to production, and it's working. So why the hell is everything locked up and it's not moving this stuff automatically? Even when we use our TIM system, it wasn't doing that. And now it looks like we can't even get it to run now. I'm clicking on recompile, give it a second to finish recompiling, and try to run it again. And it just stays with the same thing. Only thing that ever seems to change when I try to run it now is it'll go ahead and change the date there. Compile successful, but we got a bunch of warnings. Is obsolete, use status property. Oh Lord God. This might be a negative. Might be easiest to fix if we were to go to Browse Workshop. Let's just double click this. Okay, it loaded it in here. Let's check code. Okay, so now it's just saying compile successful. Remember and exit, and then we'll just run and see if everything seems to work now. Okay, so now it works. 81% load. Whew, boy. But yeah, now it's working. Looks like that. Apparently we might be in a spot of bother where our whole system has come to a screeching halt because the game just cannot handle everything, unfortunately. Gosh darn it. Everything was going so well. Now it looks like the universe is coming to a screeching halt. We might have to just manually go ahead and move everything. Apparently it's just broken, huh? Toggle you off and back on. Recompile. Okay, so it's compiled and run. Hey, it actually completed this time. Cool. We were having massive issues a second ago where it was just crashing. So let's go ahead and see. It looks like our simulation speed is, well, I was about to say stabilizing, but it just freaked out again. Go over here and see if things have moved about. Again, our nickel and silicon wafers are not being pulled into our assemblers. Maybe it's because the assemblers aren't part of the, assemblers usually have their own brain. They can usually pull stuff. That's why I didn't tie them into the sorting system. And they have user conveyor system on. We don't need cooperative mode for the king one. We have it on for the others. Unfortunately, it looks like everything is broken. I guess we'll have to do everything the old way, as this thing seems to be being slightly more than just unreasonable. Silicon ore right here. And let's go to our refineries over here, which are apparently all completely broken now, even though we just ran TIM. Huh. Inventory freeze, I found an issue in workaround. Start script with cycle 2 or higher. Seems to script 100% usage counter is broken. If it gets higher than 30%, it will start to freeze. The simple command stretches the calcs over multiple ticks. It works fine. Run. Ah, here we go. Cycle equals 2. So run that. There we go. So now it's going to take longer, but it'll find everything and should get everything functioning again, hopefully. Fingers crossed, eh? If not, well, Cycle 202 complete, 45% load. Thank Christ. Let's go ahead and now check our inventory again. Look at those refineries. Getting the feeling my code stuff might be out of date, even though I just updated Tim. Maybe I need to change the Tim tags on everything. Okay, so suddenly our refineries are now actually pulling stuff into them. Looks like it's doing it automatically and not through the Tim system. Guess that's fine. Unfortunately, it looks like it's all moving platinum. Oh, maybe it is using the Tim system and it's just moving it in little bits. That also doesn't make sense that it'll be using the Tim system, considering the fact that the Tim system runs once. I don't have the timer turned on right now. It's like a 64%. Is this running itself again and again? Oh, bugger. Well, let's go ahead and just try to manually queue up some nickel to be refined then. It's pretty much worthless, apparently. The Tim system and all of our assemblers have just murdered themselves. Oh, Jesus, we are in trouble here, aren't we? I mean, just pulling out these tiny little itty-bitty bits of platinum. Look at that. Not 200 and something. It's definitely not pulling full stacks into these things. We won't bother running the Tim system again, because there's honestly no point. Oh, that's the nickel we want to keep. There we go. So there's a bunch of nickel being refined. And then we also needed the silicon, which is right here. There we go. So there we go. Now that's all set up and should be fine. Let's go ahead. This is what it's doing. See, this just updated. Aha. If that just updated, does that mean that it's still got silicon? That's a good sign. Just the very top refinery is now empty, which worries me. But we'll go ahead and put some uranium in there, hey, just to make sure we got that sorted. Let's go back to those. Still nothing going on here. I guess what we could do is go ahead and put that Tim Auto into our assemblers. And hopefully this will actually automate all those to work when I go ahead and give it orders. I mean, in theory, this should go ahead and make it so that it automatically builds components that we have on a big list, which we do not currently have. But who knows, maybe it'll actually just make it so it's actually pulling stuff in. I'm also changing that T to a lowercase. That way, if it updates, we'll know it updated. Ah, yep, look, they just all updated. And I didn't even run it again. So it looks like, even though I believe we do not have a functional timer block at the moment. Oh, no, it is still running. Our timer block is still running. I could have sworn that was disabled. In fact, I'm 99% sure. Oh, they've changed the way it blinks. You see now, it does these tiny little pulses now instead of big hefty pulses to count down. So that's why I thought it wasn't working earlier, because I took a look at that as I was walking around. Alright, so it is running. Production. And you see now it's trying to queue up thruster components and stuff because we made all these automated. So it's like, okay, well, clearly, for some reason it thinks should be making a bunch of other components. Strangely enough, though, it's still not pulling in what we need. Let's remove that and see what it fills in here next. So once again, thruster components, the things we need. So we need to remove Tim Auto because something in the Tim script is telling it what we need, but is useless. Alright, let's take all of our assemblers and turn them off. Turn off cooperative mode, then turn them back on and on. Take the king, turn off cooperative mode. Go to our production tab and actually assign. Why are you still getting assigned if I've taken auto off? The assembler should not be being assigned anything. Let's assign it manually some solar cells. See, it's split the stack. It's gone down to 97, indicating it shared it with some of these other ones. Not you, apparently. You're still set on trying to make other components we don't need. What the hell is going on with this system? Clearly, Tim system has changed since I last did this, and the assemblers are now completely broken. Let's go ahead and just disable the Tim system. I suspect it's interfering with our just overall everything. So shut down the timer block. Some program is what I named it. There we go. Alright, so let's just recompile, run it one more time. Alright, cycle 1 of 2 completed, and we're in cycle 2 going to complete. Is this going to take a while to complete through everything? Am I going crazy? Does it scroll down, or... Okay, well, apparently it's just never going to finish cycle 2. That's not good, is it? Let's see, our refineries have now reset to be absolutely worthless, but we might be able to go ahead and manually select refineries, virus refineries, and use conveyor system, turn it on. Oh, dear Lord God, I bet you that might be why we were not getting anything into our assemblers. Oh, maybe not. Assemblers, virus assemblers, use conveyor system on, unqueue that and requeue it. Again, why are you not pulling nickel and silicon in? We know we need nickel ingots. Scroll all the way down to here where we have 145,000 of them. And we'll bring about 3,000 over. Actually, no, 4,000 over. 8,000 over. And we'll do this for each one of these. And we don't really have to do the 8,000 number since the inventory becomes full when we drag these, so just click and drag it. And that should get all these working. Only issue we do possibly run into is that the inventory might get full up with the parts that are coming out, but it looks like, yes, it has its own separate inventory for those. Thank Christ for that. Alrighty, let's go ahead, check our assemblers again. It's working, very good. And we look at the other ones. For some reason, it's not shared it. Ah. Okay, you're set to share, but you're queued with the wrong thing. You're not set to share at all, but now you are. So are you going to get something from the boss? Apparently not. What about you? You're set to share, and you actually did build a few. Enabling cooperative mode when we had them all selected seems to have toggled it off on some of these and on others. Let's go back to the king assembler. It's off. If we queue a bunch of these, in fact, let's get rid of that. We'll queue 100. It doesn't seem to be sharing them with the others. So let's go back to you and turn cooperative mode on and share 100 again. And you're still not sharing the load. Again, this is denying absolutely all logic here. We're under assembling. Repeat mode we do not want. We will queue up 10 of them, and it does not split the stack. The stack has clearly not been split. If we disable that and queue up 10 of them, once more, the stack is not being split. What the hell is going on? This still has yet to run the second cycle. Let's just recompile in an attempt to stop it and even shut it off. Double check to make sure this is not pinging. Very good. So everything in the ship should now be running as a vanilla function. So go to our assemblers, virus assemblers, they are all turned on, correct? Every single one of you are turned on, correct? All of you have cooperative mode and use conveyor system turned on. Good, good. So we go to production, and we queue up 100, and that number should quickly drop down as it divvies up this to all the separate assemblers, but it's not doing so. It's very slowly making them itself. So we'll turn this on once more and queue it up again. 100. Once more. Not divvying it up. What the heck is going on here? Have they changed something? Oh, it's responding again. Good. And it seems like our sim speed is once more dropped. Assembler. Is it because maybe there's just not enough room in them? Maybe that's it? Nickel ingot. We'll go back to the large stack that we had and drag it out. We'll drag 4,000 out. Again, that makes no sense since they have different inventories for the different items, but we will do it anyhow. Alright, and now we'll queue up the 100 and see if it splits the stack. There we go. Now it split the stack. Maybe it was something to do with inventory size, which is completely illogical, but nonetheless, it's finally doing its bloody job. That only took forever. Alright, let's finally queue up the 5-ish thousand or so we think we might need. Finish these solar arrays. Can you do Control-Shift and add 1,000? It looks like you can. Good. And so now those slowly start churning through all these. Unfortunately, the solar cells will not now be pulled from our assembler since we've disabled the TIM system, which means you will have to do this the manual way of a solar cell. Right, and since it's in the name, it's finding it here, which is very disappointing. But sausage locked. There we go. And we can go ahead and start moving stuff to these manually. Alrighty, as you might have guessed from the speedy-uppity footage, which you saw very little of because my second computer ran out of hard drive space, and we only got a little bit of SageCam footage. we are finally done. It took an absolutely insane amount of time, but we have done it. Flying our welding ship around, we have all of the solar panels in now. We have all of the little turrets in. We've added basically, what is it, 16 more turrets to the ship just on the solar panels, so we have some slightly closer defensive firepower. That way we're not depending on just the turrets up there and the turrets at the far ends. And yeah, we have a bajillion solar panels in now, and unfortunately we have to get really close to be able to actually see the little green lights on them. If you get even this far away, they all disappear, which is rather disappointing. But anyway, you can see a lot of them got some power, and so in theory we should be able to now go flying up here into our main facility. Pressurize this room here. You can probably hear me spamming the button a million times. There we go, nice and pressurized. Hop into a seat. Boop. And now we should be able to look at our power. If we turn our UI back on, that is. And say reactors. Select all of them and off. And you can see our power gauge at the bottom right still indicates everything is working. That might change a little bit if we were to do battery. Let's just do that and off. Nope, we're still good. Yeah, we're still good. So now we should have solar panel up the wazoo, out the wazoo, or however you want to bloody say it. But the point is, we got enough solar power now to pretty much run the ship on nothing but solar. Of course, we don't have ion engines. We might go ahead and add those in, but, well, eventually we're wanting to land on a planet, so we don't exactly want to, well, worry about putting the ion engine weight in there if we're going to be trying to land this monstrosity on a planet. It might have gotten to the point where we maybe just don't want to bother trying that, because, well, honestly, the ship is a massive monstrosity at this point. But I figure, like I've said previously, we'll try that. Anyway, that is that for this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. It sure took a while to get all that up and running. And honestly, let's go ahead and get those reactors back on. React. Don't tell me I did what I think I did. I hid them. Reactor. Yes, I did. I hid them. Show on. So we didn't even test it correctly. Reactors. Cargo containers. Reactors. Okay. Turn them off. Okay, nope, don't have enough power. I was wrong. Maybe if we shut down batteries, batteries. Okay, they are off. So even with 1,000,000,001 solar panels, we still do not have enough solar power to go ahead and remain functional. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and turn those reactors back on now. Deselect you two and turn on those reactors. Dang. Well, at least at the very least, that we shouldn't be requiring as much uranium to be spent, since we have all these solar panels now presumably giving us some power. Yeah, most of them are 3 out of 4, so yeah, that's 4 out of 4. Yeah, so hopefully that'll at least cut down on the power usage. Unfortunately, yeah, we just found out even with this huge array, we built this machine of ours up too greatly. We'd still need more solar panels. Maybe another time we'll go ahead and add more of those. I think we still have, if we were to go ahead and look up solar cell. A fair few solar cells scattered out. Yeah, we got like 1,000 of them there, 27 there, 2,000 and something there. So we still got a fair few scattered about. So maybe in the future we'll add more in. But for the time being, we're done there. We'll continue our journey on towards Mars in the next episode. Anyway, that is it. Thank you a bunch for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Ta-ta.